15 black actors who were shockingly stupid. What if I told you that an Oscar-winning actor's Hollywood career collapsed after one bar incident? That a Marvel villain set up to anchor the entire multiverse saga lost over $80 million in a single courtroom verdict? That a Disney Channel star who once earned more than most adults now struggles publicly with addiction in front of millions? Behind every red carpet smile lies a choice, and behind every Hollywood collapse lies a moment that could have gone differently. From Empire's biggest scandal to a Ferrari Enzo destroyed in seconds, 15 black actors built fortunes on talent and watched it all disappear. Welcome to Remembered Lives channel. Hit subscribe, drop a comment, and let's count them down. Number 1 will leave you speechless. Isaiah Washington. Born Isaiah Washington IV on August 3, 1963 in Houston, Texas, Isaiah Washington was once one of the most respected dramatic actors on primetime television. After serving in the U.S. Air Force and graduating from Howard University, he built his career through carefully chosen roles in Spike Lee's Crooklyn, 1994, Get on the Bus, 1996, and Bulworth, 1998. His commanding presence and intelligent line readings positioned him as a reliable dramatic anchor. His career-defining role arrived when ABC cast him as Dr. Preston Burke on Grey's Anatomy in 2005. As the brilliant cardiothoracic surgeon and romantic partner of Sandra Oh's Dr. Christina Yang, Washington became one of the most popular characters on what was rapidly becoming the most-watched medical drama on American television. He earned a reported $50,000 per episode by his second season, and his on-screen chemistry with Oh generated some of the show's most beloved storylines. Then in October 2006, an on-set conflict between Washington and co-star Patrick Dempsey escalated into shouting. According to multiple witnesses, Washington used a homophobic slur referring to fellow cast member T.R. Knight during the argument. The incident was initially handled internally, but Washington made a catastrophic decision at the January 2007 Golden Globes press room. While denying he had ever used the slur, he repeated it again, this time captured on live broadcast media. The clip went viral instantly. Pressure from GLAAD, advocacy organizations, and Disney's corporate leadership intensified. Washington publicly apologized, entered counseling, and filmed a public service announcement. But the damage was done. ABC declined to renew his contract in June 2007. His character was written off the series. He has since worked steadily in smaller projects, including The 100, 2014 to 2018, on the CW, but never returned to his Grey's-era stature. His estimated peak salary was $375,000 per episode by Season 3 projections, income lost through one moment of unchecked anger and one disastrous decision to repeat the offense publicly. Orlando Brown. Born Orlando Brown on December 4, 1987 in Los Angeles, California, Orlando became one of Disney Channel's most recognizable faces by his early teens. After appearing in commercials and small TV roles throughout childhood, he landed the breakthrough role of Eddie Thomas, Raven Baxter's loyal best friend, on That's So Raven, 2003 to 2007. Across 100 episodes and 4 seasons, Eddie's exaggerated reactions, comedic deliveries, and warm chemistry with Raven Simone made him a household name to an entire generation of millennials. He earned a reported $20,000 per episode by Season 3, plus residuals from constant Disney Channel reruns that continued generating income for years. He also appeared in the 2003 Disney Channel original movie Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off as the lead, and contributed to the 2003 single Twinkle Twinkle for the Disney Princess Sing-Along Songs album. By 17, he was earning more than most adults in the entertainment industry. But the post-Disney transition proved devastating. Throughout the 2000s and beyond, Orlando faced a deeply public series of legal troubles, including arrest for domestic battery, drug possession, resisting arrest, and trespassing. He has been candid in multiple interviews about his struggles with methamphetamine addiction, sometimes appearing on camera in concerning physical and mental conditions that alarmed former co-stars and longtime fans. His former Disney Channel colleagues, including Raven-Symoné and Anneliese van der Pol, have repeatedly reached out publicly with offers of support and compassion rather than judgment. Raven-Symoné stated multiple times she would welcome him back to her show Raven's Home if he could maintain stable sobriety, but this reunion never materialized. Orlando has attempted multiple comebacks through gospel music releases, freestyle rap singles, and reality television appearances. He has reportedly entered rehabilitation programs several times, including the 2022 stint covered on Marriage Boot Camp Hip Hop Edition. His story remains an ongoing reminder of how ferociously addiction can dismantle even the brightest beginnings. Terrence Howard. Terrence Deshaun Howard was born March 11, 1969, in Chicago, Illinois, and showed dramatic promise from earliest childhood. The grandson of legendary stage actress Minnie Gentry, Howard moved between New York City and Cleveland during a turbulent youth before studying chemical engineering at Pratt Institute. He earned his first significant film role in The Jacksons, An American Dream, 1992, and gradually built his career through supporting parts in Mr. Holland's Opus, 1995, Sparkle, and Big Mama's House, 2000. Everything changed with Hustle and Flow in 2005. Playing DJ, a Memphis pimp dreaming of becoming a rapper, Howard delivered a performance so raw and vulnerable that he earned the Academy Award nomination for Best Actor, and the original song, It's Hard Out Here for a Pimp, won the Oscar for Best Original Song that same night. Historic moments. He followed it with Crash, 2005, Iron Man, 2008, as James Rhodey Rhodes opposite Robert Downey Jr., The Brave One, 2007, and Lee Daniels' The Butler, 2013. Then came his most consequential career decision. After negotiating a reported $4.5 million salary for Iron Man, actually higher than Robert Downey Jr.'s first film paycheck, Marvel Studios offered Howard significantly less for Iron Man 2, 2010. He refused and was replaced by Don Cheadle, who has played War Machine across every Marvel sequel since. Howard later claimed Robert Downey Jr. had personally undermined him, though Marvel insiders dispute this characterization. He found redemption initially as Lucius Lyon on Empire, 2015 to 2020, drawing peak audiences exceeding 17 million weekly viewers. But mounting domestic violence allegations, public statements about his unconventional mathematical theories, including his claim that 1 × 1 = 2, through what he calls Terryology, and his 2023 announcement of retirement from acting eroded industry confidence further. He stated his Marvel-era earnings remained largely unpaid due to royalty disputes. The actor who stood at Hollywood's mountaintop watched the summit retreat as he chose unconventional paths over commercial preservation. Stacey Dash. Born Stacey Loretta Dash on January 20, 1966, in the Bronx, New York, Stacey grew up in a household marked by financial instability before pursuing acting in her early 20s. She landed her first significant role in Moving, 1988, opposite Richard Pryor, then secured supporting parts on television series including The Cosby Show, Renegade, and The Strip throughout the early 1990s. Her career-defining role arrived in 1995 with Amy Heckerling's Clueless. As Dionne Davenport, the fashionable, witty best friend to Alicia Silverstone's Cher Horowitz, Stacey delivered some of the film's most quotable moments. Clueless grossed $56 million on a modest $12 million budget, becoming an immediate generational touchstone and entering the National Film Registry in 2024 for its cultural significance. Stacey reprised the Dionne role in the 1996 to 1999 spin-off TV series, anchoring it across 62 episodes. For nearly 2 decades after Clueless, Stacey worked steadily across films and television, appearing in Renaissance Man, 1994, opposite Danny DeVito, Moesha guest spots, and the long-running soap opera The Bold and the Beautiful. She maintained a comfortable mid-tier acting career that should have continued indefinitely. The pivot came around 2012, when Stacey publicly endorsed Mitt Romney's presidential campaign and became increasingly vocal about conservative political positions. She joined Fox News as a contributor in 2014, where her commentary frequently sparked controversy, including her 2016 statements suggesting that Black History Month and the BET Awards should be eliminated. The remarks drew widespread backlash from Black entertainment industry figures and audiences alike. She attempted a 2018 congressional run as a Republican in California's 44th district, but withdrew before the primary after raising less than $50,000. In 2021, Stacey publicly apologized for her past divisive rhetoric, telling the Daily Mail she had been an angry, broken person during those years. Despite the apology, mainstream casting opportunities never returned. Her career became an extended cautionary tale about how political combat can permanently fracture an entertainment audience built on universal appeal. Michael Jai White. Born Michael Jai White on November 10, 1967, in Brooklyn, New York, Michael earned legitimate black belts in 7 different martial arts disciplines, including Shotokan Karate, Taekwondo, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and Wushu. His combination of athletic credentials, classically trained acting skills, and imposing physical presence positioned him as a potential generational action star throughout the 1990s. He made history when New Line Cinema cast him in Spawn, 1997, making him the first African-American actor to portray a major superhero in a theatrical studio release, predating Wesley Snipes' Blade by a full year. The film grossed $87 million on a $40 million budget, but received mixed critical reviews that limited his franchise opportunities. He also portrayed Mike Tyson in HBO's biopic Tyson, 1995, earning critical acclaim for his physical and emotional transformation. His career-defining moments came through Universal Soldier: The Return, 1999, opposite Jean-Claude Van Damme, and Why Did I Get Married, 2007, directed by Tyler Perry. He starred in Black Dynamite, 2009, a brilliantly executed blaxploitation parody he co-wrote that became a cult classic and Sundance Film Festival favorite. The film should have launched him into A-list comedic action roles. Instead, his career trajectory plateaued. Industry reports indicate Michael developed a reputation for being highly particular about fight choreography, frequently clashing with stunt coordinators and directors who preferred faster shot setups over his preferred extended single-take action sequences. He has acknowledged this approach in multiple interviews, defending his commitment to authentic martial arts on screen. He also publicly criticized fellow action stars, including Steven Seagal and Jean-Claude Van Damme, in interviews, questioning their actual fighting credentials. While his technical assessments may have been valid, the public commentary alienated potential collaborators across his action film niche. Michael has since transitioned to direct-to-video films and independent productions, frequently writing, directing, and producing his own projects. He maintains a devoted fan base but never reached the Jet Li or Jason Statham international action stardom his combination of skills could have delivered. Columbus Short. Born Columbus Keith Short Jr. on September 19, 1982 in Kansas City, Missouri, Columbus moved to Los Angeles in his early teens after demonstrating exceptional talent across performing arts disciplines. He served as a backup dancer for Britney Spears on her 2004 Onyx Hotel tour and choreographed for major artists including Beyoncé, Jennifer Lopez, and Janet Jackson before transitioning to acting. His film breakthrough came with Stomp the Yard, 2007, where he starred as DJ Williams alongside Megan Good in the Sony Pictures distributed dance drama. The film grossed $75 million on a $13 million budget and established him as a charismatic leading man for young Black audiences. He followed with This Christmas, 2007, Cadillac Records, 2008, and Quarantine, 2008, building consistent forward momentum. His career-defining role arrived when Shonda Rhimes cast him as Harrison Wright on ABC's hit political thriller Scandal, 2012 to 2014. As the smooth-talking, fiercely loyal fixer working alongside Kerry Washington's Olivia Pope, Columbus brought magnetic charisma to the show during its peak ratings era, when Scandal regularly drew over 12 million weekly viewers. He earned a reported $200,000 per episode by his second season. Then his personal life imploded publicly. In 2014, his wife filed for divorce, alleging severe physical abuse, including a death threat involving a knife. Columbus was arrested on felony spousal battery and assault charges. He pleaded no contest to a misdemeanor charge and received probation. Multiple subsequent arrests followed, including a 2014 incident where he allegedly punched a man at a Los Angeles restaurant. Shonda Rhimes terminated his Scandal contract in April 2014, and Harrison Wright was killed off-screen between seasons. Columbus has since acknowledged extensive cocaine and alcohol addiction during his Scandal years. He has appeared in low-budget independent films and reality television, but never returned to network television leading man status. His current projects remain limited to faith-based dramas and small-budget genre films. Flex Alexander. Born Mark Alexander Knox on April 15, 1970, in the Bronx, New York, Flex began performing as a backup dancer and breakdancer in New York's vibrant hip-hop scene throughout the late 1980s. He served as Queen Latifah's choreographer and toured with major artists before transitioning to comedy through stand-up performances at clubs across the East Coast in the early 1990s. His acting breakthrough came with The Sentinel, 1996 to 1999, on UPN, and Total Security, 1997, before landing his career-defining role as Flex Washington on UPN's hit family sitcom One-on-One, 2001 to 2006. The show ran for 5 seasons and 113 episodes, exploring the relationship between a single father raising his teenage daughter Brianna, played by Kyla Pratt. One-on-One became one of UPN's flagship black sitcoms during the network's golden era, and Flex's warm, fatherly performance earned him steady recognition. But his post-One-on-One career decisions proved costly. According to multiple industry reports, Flex turned down several recurring sitcom roles in the years following the show's conclusion in 2006, holding out for theatrical leading man opportunities that would establish him as a cinematic star. The film roles he envisioned never materialized at the level he expected. His most controversial project arrived with the 2008 ABC miniseries Snakes on a Plane, Mile High, a project widely panned. He also accepted lead roles in low-budget direct-to-video productions during the late 2000s that reportedly damaged his casting reputation rather than building his theatrical credentials. Industry insiders described him as inflexible during contract negotiations, with very specific requirements regarding billing, salary thresholds, and creative input that priced him out of mid-tier opportunities. Flex has worked sporadically since 2010 in small roles on shows including Blackish, Modern Family, and various BET productions. He hosted the BET reality dating show Manhunt and appeared on Marriage Boot Camp, Hip Hop Edition, 2017, with his wife Shanice. The actor whose sitcom dominated UPN never recaptured his early 2000s prominence, proof that holding out for ideal opportunities can cost real ones. Katt Williams. Born Micah Sierra Williams on September 2, 1971, in Cincinnati, Ohio, Katt left home at 13 and reportedly survived through street performances and small-time hustles before discovering stand-up comedy in his late teens. By the early 2000s, he had developed one of the most distinctive comedic voices of his generation, characterized by his trademark long hair, designer suits, philosophical observations, and surgical comedic timing. His breakthrough arrived with the BET stand-up special, The Pimp Chronicles, Part 1, 2006, which became a massive commercial success and launched his recurring comedy specials franchise. He starred in the cult classic Friday After Next, 2002, as Money Mike, voiced characters in The Boondocks, and headlined major comedy tours that grossed millions across the United States. His 2008 special, American Hustle, Master, sold over 800,000 DVDs, extraordinary numbers for stand-up comedy at the time. But Katt's legal record became inseparable from his career narrative. He has been arrested multiple times across more than a decade for various offenses including assault, child endangerment, battery, gun possession, and disturbing the peace. He has walked off stage during performances, gotten into physical altercations with audience members, and canceled tours mid-run, leading to lawsuits from promoters and venues that further damaged his bookability. In January 2024, Katt's 3-hour interview on Shannon Sharpe's Club Shay Shay podcast went viral globally, accumulating over 70 million views within the first month. The interview featured devastating critiques of Kevin Hart, Cedric the Entertainer, Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley, and Tiffany Haddish. While many viewers celebrated his candor, the interview deepened existing rifts within the black comedy industry and prompted multiple defamation considerations from named comedians. Katt continues touring and releasing specials, including Woke Folk 2024 on Netflix. His talent remains undeniable. When focused and healthy, he delivers some of the most original comedy of his generation. But his personal turbulence has prevented him from reaching the universal acclaim of contemporaries like Dave Chappelle or Chris Rock, despite arguably matching their raw comedic capabilities. Jussie Smollett. Born Jussie Smollett on June 21, 1982, in Santa Rosa, California, Jussie was raised in a multiracial Jewish-black family and began acting professionally at age 5, appearing in films including The Mighty Ducks, 1992, and North, 1994. He attended Mark Keppel High School in Alhambra and quietly built a steady working actor career throughout his 20s, before his breakthrough opportunity transformed him into a household name. His career-defining role arrived when Fox cast him as Jamal Lyon on Empire, 2015 to 2020, Lee Daniels and Danny Strong's hip-hop family drama starring Terrence Howard and Taraji P. Henson. As the openly gay middle son of music mogul Lucius Lyon, Jussie portrayed a groundbreaking black LGBTQ+ character whose original songs frequently charted on the iTunes R&B charts. Empire drew peak audiences exceeding 17.6 million weekly viewers during its first season, making it the highest-rated new drama in over a decade. Jussie earned a reported $125,000 per episode by Season 3, plus music revenue from the show's soundtrack albums that sold over 1 million combined copies. His career trajectory pointed toward feature film opportunities and major recording contracts. Then came January 29, 2019. Jussie reported to Chicago police that 2 masked attackers had assaulted him in a hate crime involving racial and homophobic slurs, a noose around his neck, and a chemical substance poured on him. The story dominated national news cycles for weeks, but within 3 weeks, Chicago police announced their investigation had concluded that Jussie had staged the attack, hiring 2 acquaintances, brothers Olabinjo and Abimbola Osundairo, to perform the assault. He was charged with disorderly conduct for filing a false police report. After multiple legal proceedings, he was convicted on 5 of 6 counts in December 2021 and sentenced to 150 days in jail and probation. He served 6 days before being released pending appeal. Empire wrote him out before the show's 2020 finale. He has not returned to mainstream television since. His estimated career losses exceed $50 million in lost earnings. Cuba Gooding Jr. Born Cuba Mart Gooding Jr. on January 2, 1968 in the Bronx, New York, to legendary main ingredient lead singer Cuba Gooding Sr., Cuba was practically destined for entertainment. His film debut came with Coming to America, 1988, before his breakthrough role as Trey Styles in John Singleton's Boys in the Hood, 1991, a performance that announced him as one of Hollywood's most promising young dramatic actors. His career-defining moment arrived with Jerry Maguire, 1996, where his portrayal of NFL wide receiver Rod Tidwell, opposite Tom Cruise, earned him the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. His joyful, energetic acceptance speech, repeatedly shouting, "I love you!" while dancing, became one of the most replayed Oscar moments in television history. He followed with As Good as It Gets, 1997, Men of Honor, 2000, opposite Robert De Niro, and Pearl Harbor, 2001. Cuba experienced a career resurgence with The People vs. O.J. Simpson, American Crime Story, 2016, where his portrayal of O.J. Simpson earned him an Emmy nomination for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Limited Series. The role positioned him for a serious dramatic comeback at age 48. Then his life trajectory shifted devastatingly. Beginning in 2018, Cuba faced multiple sexual misconduct allegations from women alleging incidents at New York City bars and restaurants. He was charged with 3 counts of forcible touching and sexual abuse. After contentious legal proceedings spanning 4 years, in October 2022, Cuba pleaded guilty to 1 count of forcible touching as part of a plea agreement. He received 6 months of behavioral therapy and was required to maintain mental health and alcohol abuse treatment, avoiding jail time but receiving criminal conviction status. A subsequent civil suit by accuser Jasmine Abdullah ended with a 2024 jury verdict awarding her $0 in compensatory damages but finding Cuba liable for sexual assault. The Oscar winner, whose career once seemed permanent, has not appeared in a major studio production since the convictions, marking one of Hollywood's most dramatic A-list collapses of the modern era. Jonathan Majors. Born Jonathan Michael Majors on September 7, 1989 in Lompoc, California, Jonathan was raised in Cedar Hill, Texas by his single mother, a pastor, after his father abandoned the family when Jonathan was 9. He attended the University of North Carolina School of the Arts and the prestigious Yale School of Drama, earning his Master of Fine Arts in 2016. His classical theatrical training established a foundation few contemporary actors of his generation matched. His breakthrough arrived with The Last Black Man in San Francisco, 2019, which won the Sundance Directing Award. He followed with Spike Lee's Da 5 Bloods, 2020, opposite Chadwick Boseman, then HBO's groundbreaking horror series Lovecraft Country, 2020 to 2021, as Atticus Black, earning him a Critics' Choice Award. His scene-stealing performance opposite Lupita Nyong'o and Forest Whitaker in The Harder They Fall, 2021, cemented his prestige status. Then came his career-defining Marvel Studios casting. Jonathan portrayed Kang the Conqueror in Loki, 2021, and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, 2023. Established as the central villain of Marvel's entire multi-year multiverse saga, intended to anchor multiple Avengers sequels through 2027. Marvel had reportedly built 5 years of cinematic universe continuity around his character. He also led Creed III, 2023, opposite Michael B. Jordan, and Magazine Dreams, 2023, at Sundance. On March 25, 2023, Jonathan was arrested in New York City after his then-girlfriend Grace Jabari accused him of physical assault. The trial began in November 2023. After contentious proceedings, on December 18, 2023, Jonathan was convicted of 1 misdemeanor count of assault in the 3rd degree and 1 count of harassment. He received 52 weeks of in-person domestic violence intervention. Within hours of the verdict, Marvel Studios formally severed all ties with Jonathan, completely rewriting their multiverse saga to remove Kang. Industry estimates suggest he forfeited over $80 million in projected earnings across upcoming Marvel projects. His Magazine Dreams release was indefinitely delayed before finally arriving in March 2025 to limited theaters. Wesley Snipes. Wesley Trent Snipes was born July 31, 1962, in Orlando, Florida, and raised in the Bronx, New York. He trained at the prestigious High School of Performing Arts, the school featured in Fame, and later at the State University of New York at Purchase. After early film roles in Wildcats, 1986, and Streets of Gold, 1986, he gained mainstream attention as Willie Mays Hayes in Major League, 1989. His career-defining transformation came with Mario Van Peebles' New Jack City, 1991, where his ruthless drug lord Nino Brown announced him as a major dramatic threat. He followed with Spike Lee's Jungle Fever, 1991, White Men Can't Jump, 1992, opposite Woody Harrelson, Demolition Man, 1993, and Passenger 57, 1992. By the mid-1990s, Wesley was one of Hollywood's top action stars, mastering martial arts, including capoeira, hapkido, and Shotokan karate. His ultimate franchise arrived with Blade, 1998. As the half-vampire vampire hunter, Wesley essentially launched the modern superhero genre, predating X-Men by 2 years and Iron Man by 10. The trilogy, Blade, Blade 2, Blade Trinity, grossed over $400 million worldwide and turned him into a global action icon. His leather-clad Daywalker remains one of the most beloved superheroes ever brought to screen. But Wesley's career hit a catastrophic obstacle through tax evasion charges. Beginning in 2006, federal prosecutors investigated his refusal to file federal income tax returns from 1999 through 2004, based on his apparent embrace of tax protester theories that the federal income tax system was unconstitutional. He had reportedly avoided paying approximately $7 million in federal taxes during this period. He was convicted in 2008 on 3 misdemeanor charges of failure to file tax returns. Sentencing came in April 2008, 3 years in federal prison. After multiple appeals, Wesley reported to McKean Federal Correctional Institution in Pennsylvania in December 2010 and was released in April 2013 after serving 28 months. His post-prison career has been steadier than expected. The Expendables 3, 2014, Coming to America, 2021, and Dolomite Is My Name, 2019, demonstrated his return, but he never reached his pre-incarceration A-list earning power. Bobby Brown. Born Robert Beresford Brown on February 5, 1969, in Boston, Massachusetts, Bobby co-founded the iconic R&B vocal group New Edition at age 9. He left in 1985 to pursue solo work, releasing his debut album, King of Stage, 1986, before launching his career-defining sophomore project, Don't Be Cruel, 1988. The album sold over 12 million copies worldwide, spawned 5 top 10 singles, and earned him a Grammy Award for Best Male R&B Vocal Performance for Every Little Step. His acting career complemented his music success. Bobby appeared in Ghostbusters 2, 1989, A Thin Line Between Love and Hate, 1996, Two Can Play That Game, 2001, and held recurring roles on Being Bobby Brown, 2005 to 2006, the Bravo reality series that became one of the most watched shows in network history at its peak. He also voiced the junior high coach in the Boondocks animated series. His July 1992 marriage to Whitney Houston transformed him from solo R&B star into perhaps the most scrutinized celebrity couple of the 1990s. Their 14-year marriage was punctuated by Bobby's escalating substance abuse, multiple arrests for DUI, drug possession, and assault, and intensely public domestic conflicts that became regular tabloid coverage. Bobby has been candid in his 2016 memoir, Every Little Step, about cocaine and alcohol addiction beginning in his late teens that consumed much of his adult life. Tragedy followed him relentlessly. Whitney Houston drowned at the Beverly Hilton in February 2012, with cocaine listed as a contributing factor in her death. Their daughter, Bobby Christina Brown, died in July 2015 after being found in nearly identical bathtub circumstances. His son, Bobby Brown Jr., died in November 2020 from a fentanyl, cocaine, and alcohol overdose at age 28. Bobby has maintained sobriety for over a decade and appeared in BET's biopic, The Bobby Brown Story, 2018. He continues touring with New Edition reunions, but never returned to his Don't Be Cruel commercial heights, a career permanently shaped by the personal and family tragedies that surrounded his choices. Faizon Love. Born Langston Faizon Santissima on June 14, 1968, in Santiago de Cuba, Cuba, Faizon emigrated to the United States with his family as a young child and grew up in Long Island, New York. After studying at the Negro Ensemble Company, he transitioned to stand-up comedy in his early 20s, performing at clubs throughout New York and Los Angeles before catching the attention of producers casting The Meteor Man, 1993. His career-defining role arrived as Big Worm in F. Gary Gray's Friday, 1995. As the menacing ice cream truck driver demanding Smokey pay his weed debt, culminating in his iconic "Playing with my money is like playing with my emotions, Smokey" line, Faizon delivered one of black cinema's most quoted villain performances of the 1990s. The role became a generational reference point for an entire era of Friday-quoting fans. He followed with The Replacements, 2000, opposite Keanu Reeves, Elf, 2003, opposite Will Ferrell as the children's book editor Kyle, and Maid, 2001. Couples Retreat, 2009, opposite Vince Vaughn, became his highest-grossing film, earning over $171 million worldwide. He also held recurring roles on shows including The Parenthood and Players Club. Faizon's career was repeatedly disrupted by his on-set reputation. Multiple producers and directors have publicly described difficulty working with him on various projects. Most notably, his 2014 fallout with Vince Vaughn over Couples Retreat compensation led to public statements where Faizon expressed bitterness over his perceived unequal pay compared to white co-stars. His most damaging incident occurred in June 2019, when Faizon was arrested at Columbus International Airport in Ohio after physically assaulting a valet attendant in a dispute over his car. Surveillance footage captured the entire altercation. He pleaded no contest to a misdemeanor assault charge and received probation. Faizon has continued working in independent films and small-budget comedies, but has not appeared in major theatrical releases since 2019. His reputation for unpredictable behavior has reportedly limited collaboration opportunities, leaving a once promising character actor's career trajectory permanently constrained. Eddie Griffin. Edward Regan Griffin was born July 15, 1968, in Kansas City, Missouri, raised by a single mother in working-class circumstances. He began performing stand-up comedy in his late teens at clubs throughout the Midwest before relocating to Los Angeles in his early 20s. His chaotic, unpredictable comedic style, drawing comparisons to Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy, earned him steady showcase opportunities throughout the late 1980s and early 1990s. His career-defining film role arrived with the 2001 release of Undercover Brother, where Eddie starred as the afro-wearing, soul-loving title character battling racist conspiracies. The film grossed $39 million on a $25 million budget and became a cult comedy classic, still frequently quoted today. He followed with Deuce Bigalow, European Gigolo, 2005, Norbit, 2007, opposite Eddie Murphy, and recurring roles on Malcolm and Eddie, 1996 to 2000, opposite Malcolm Jamal Warner across 89 episodes. But Eddie became infamous in 2007 for one of the most expensive driving incidents in American celebrity history. While preparing to film publicity footage for the Frank Stallone-produced film Redline, 2007, Eddie crashed a $1.5 million Ferrari Enzo, one of only 400 ever made, into a concrete barrier during a promotional photo shoot at Irwindale Speedway. The car was completely destroyed. Eddie reportedly suffered minor injuries. The incident generated widespread media coverage and indelibly associated his name with reckless behavior, despite the fact that the film's producers, not Eddie, owned the car. Beyond the Ferrari incident, Eddie's career has been disrupted by tax-related legal troubles. He was charged with failing to pay over $4 million in federal taxes spanning from 2002 onward. He has also accumulated multiple paternity and child support disputes across multiple states, with reports indicating he has fathered at least 9 children with several different women, leading to ongoing financial obligations that reportedly contributed to his tax difficulties. Eddie continues touring as a stand-up comedian and appears in occasional independent films and BET productions. He has hosted reality television shows, including BET's Iron Ring, 2008. His underutilized comedic talent remains a frequent subject of what could have been discussions in black comedy circles. There you have it, 15 extraordinary black actors whose talent should have built lasting Hollywood legacies. Instead, their decisions wrote different endings. Some lost everything to addiction. Others lost it to violence, criminal convictions, or refusing to compromise on the wrong battles. Each one had the talent, the platform, and the opportunity, and each one watched it all slip away. Now we want to hear from you. Whose downfall shocked you the most? Do you believe Hollywood gives black actors fewer second chances than their white counterparts? Or are these consequences fully deserved? Are there names we missed who should have made this list? Drop your honest thoughts below. Every voice matters here. If this video opened your eyes to careers we'll never get back, smash that like button, share it widely, and subscribe to Remembered Lives channel.